I recognize there is no body, and I'm not. So if I see what you said, there is no one. But even though I'm still in my story, that I am, and there's one part in myself who believes what you are saying, and saying it's true. And on the other hand, there's still the one who will do something. And to this one I can say it's only energy who manifests in such a way. And do I have to do it during the day to recognize there is no body?
No, one thing, believing this is nothing, it's just an idea.
Yeah.
To believe this is just nothing more in the story than an idea that the I or the me has about the idea of there being no one. It's simply no more than that. It has no value at all. And also, you mentioned the truth, believing the truth. This is not a truth. There is no truth. All there is what is. And also, there's nothing that the me can do about investing in this or acting in a certain way. The idea that there is no me is simply that. It's just an idea.
Yeah.
The whole shift, or apparent shift, is totally energetic. It has nothing to do with believing anything. You can understand this and even believe that it might be what you call true, but that's nothing more than conceptual.
So I can't do anything to
There isn't, no, it isn't that you can't do anything, it is that there is no you.
That's a difficult issue.
Oh, it's far worse.
Okay.
But Tony, when there is a identification with the person, when there is a identification with the person, and when there is suffering, does it feel very pleasant to suffer?
No.
There is nothing to do.
Well, no, there is no one.
As a person from the side of
well,
the person.
as far as the person's concerned, they think there is something they can do to stop suffering.
Yeah.
And they might take some, or think that they can choose to take some action.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which will bring about the end of the suffering.
Yeah. So
And it actually, funny enough, it may be that the suffering ends, but only for a while.
Yeah.
Because they're still in the circle, and basically therapy deals with symptoms rather than goes to the root of the suffering, which is that I am separate. Nothing can go to the root of the suffering, which is I am separate, because there is no such thing as separation. So how do you go to the root of something that is simply not happening?
I understand, I think I understand what you mean, but when you are in the suffering, it's difficult because you have no way to act, you suffer anyway. You know, it's not happening, but it's from the view of the person it's happening. Yeah.
That's just the concept that it's not happening,
Yeah.
it's just an idea. But for the individual, it seems as though they can take action to cease suffering. And that may seem to happen, but it has no lasting effect because it hasn't gone to the root of that suffering. So the suffering may be assuaged in some way or other through therapy or dealt with. But what happens is that that energy that is in that way in beings moves to another energy because underneath it is something fueling it. What's underneath it is I'm lost, I'm separate. Can you pass that one over there?
Could you talk?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Could you talk about sense perception?
Sense perception is something that simply is happening, and all the time there's an individual, they believe it's happening to them, and after liberation, when there isn't anybody, there is just apparent sense perception.
But it is still connected to the body.
It apparently is, yes, that's what seems to be happening, but it's nobody's body.
Okay.
It's just what's happening.
Okay. Thank you.
Isn't it sort of exercising the state of awakening? If we practice already, the sort of being, just sense perceptions without us.
No, what is implied there is that there's somebody who has a choice.
Pardon?
What you're implying is that there is somebody who can do a practice to get somewhere.
Well, maybe it's a concept, but the practice, doesn't it work?
Well, there isn't anything to practice and there isn't anywhere to go. That's the whole dilemma. The dilemma for the seeker is they believe they're on a journey, and that they can find something on the journey. There's no journey and there's no seeker.
But it helps with the suffering, right?
Oh, well, if we're going back to the story, then in the story, it seems that there is somebody on a journey, and if there's suffering in the journey, it seems as though they could choose to take action to end the suffering. That's a dream. It's an illusion. But it seems that that might happen. But as I said just now, that doesn't go to the root. In the story, there's still separation. So the suffering is just replaced somewhere else by something else.
So it's just a momentary relief.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. It's what seems to happen. The relief from being separate.
But it has nothing to do with
No.
coming sooner to liberation.
Nothing has anything to do with it.
To me, is the death a solution for this illusion and the end of the story?
For death,
Yes.
the
death of the body and of our mind.
well, it isn't really. The body dying is incidental to the end of that which maintains the idea that there is separation. Death in that sense is simply the end of the illusion of separation. It either happens in the living body or what we call death.
When this ends, there is
It's
stay
indescribable.
like before.
It can't be described. When it ends, there is only unknowing.
It's what I mean. From it's, our body is when we incarnate it, or I don't know how
Oh no,
to
this is
describe it.
no. The body is the thing that ceases to
Yes.
function,
Yes.
and what ceases to function with it is the energy of being separate.
Okay. And this ends with the death.
Sorry?
This will be end with the death.
Yeah. Well, it apparently ends with the death, but actually it was never there anyway. So it isn't there and then it ends. It's the end of something that was never happening.
And is this real?